Desires are part of human life. Everyone has wants, wishes, and cravings. Some desires are simple, like wanting food, sleep, or comfort. Other desires are more powerful, like the desire for wealth, power, or pleasure. One of the strongest and most challenging desires is lust. Lust is a strong craving for physical or sensual pleasure. It can be exciting for a moment, but if it controls a person's mind and actions, it can create problems, distractions, and suffering. The idea that whoever overcomes lust overcomes the world is very powerful. It does not just mean controlling sexual desire, it means having control over all strong urges and impulses that can disturb your mind. When a person learns to master lust and strong cravings, they gain inner strength and freedom. They are no longer slaves to fleeting pleasures, and this gives them the power to act wisely and live a meaningful life. Many people live their lives following their desires without thinking carefully. Lust can make a person seek instant pleasure while ignoring long-term consequences. People often make choices they later regret because they are driven by desire. Overcoming lust is about developing self-control. It is about learning to delay instant gratification in favor of long-term peace, growth, and happiness. A person who overcomes lust begins to understand the difference between temporary pleasure and lasting satisfaction. They realize that chasing desires blindly can bring suffering, while controlling them can bring freedom. Self-awareness is key to overcoming lust. The first step is recognizing when a desire arises. Many people act on impulses without noticing them. When lust or strong craving appears in the mind, observing it without immediately acting on it is important. This observation creates awareness. Awareness allows a person to choose how to respond instead of being controlled by the desire. It is not about denying human nature, it is about making conscious choices. By being aware of impulses, a person begins to weaken their power over their mind. Discipline plays a major role in overcoming lust. Discipline is like training the mind and body to follow reason and wisdom instead of being controlled by emotions and cravings. Practicing small acts of self-control every day strengthens a person's self-control. This can include simple practices like avoiding situations that trigger desire, controlling speech, and focusing on productive activities. Discipline gradually strengthens the mind, making it more stable, calm, and focused. A disciplined person does not give in to every temptation. Instead, they act with thought and purpose. Another important aspect is understanding the temporary nature of desire. Lust creates a false sense of satisfaction, but this satisfaction is short-lived. Chasing one pleasure often leads to seeking another, creating a cycle that is hard to break. By observing this pattern, a person can see how desire often leads to frustration rather than happiness. Understanding that physical pleasures are temporary helps reduce their control over the mind. A person begins to seek deeper sources of satisfaction, such as knowledge, meaningful work, relationships, or spiritual growth. Meditation and mindfulness can help in mastering lust. These practices train the mind to focus and remain calm. When the mind is calm and focused, it does not get pulled by every impulse or craving. Meditation helps a person see their thoughts and desires clearly. It allows them to understand that lust is just a feeling that passes if it is not acted upon. Mindfulness in daily life also helps. By paying attention to thoughts, emotions, and actions, a person can make better choices and avoid impulsive behavior. Overcoming lust is not about being harsh or cruel to oneself. It is about self-respect and self-mastery. When a person controls their desires, they respect themselves more. They realize that giving in to every craving makes them weak, restless, and unhappy. Self-control strengthens confidence. A person who masters their desires feels powerful because they are no longer ruled by temporary pleasures. They gain the ability to focus on what is truly important in life, rather than being distracted by fleeting impulses. The benefits of overcoming lust are profound. Mentally, the mind becomes clearer and more peaceful. Without constant cravings, a person experiences less anxiety, tension, and distraction. Emotionally, they feel more stable because their happiness does not depend on external things or fleeting pleasures. Spiritually, they feel free. Freedom from desire allows a person to explore higher goals, deeper understanding, and meaningful life experiences. This is why overcoming lust is often compared to overcoming the world. When a person conquers their own desires, they gain control over their life in ways that external power or wealth cannot provide. It is also important to practice patience and persistence. Lust is strong, and overcoming it is not easy. A person may struggle, face temptations, and sometimes fail. What matters is continuing the effort. Each small victory over desire strengthens the mind and brings a sense of achievement. Even small acts of self-control practiced consistently accumulate into great inner strength. Over time, a person finds that they no longer feel enslaved by cravings and impulses. Focusing on higher goals can also help. When a person has clear purpose and meaningful objectives, the pull of lust becomes less powerful. Goals like education, career, family, health, or spiritual growth require energy and attention. By dedicating themselves to these higher purposes, the mind naturally becomes less attached to temporary pleasures. A person who overcomes lust can use their energy more wisely, creating progress, success, and fulfillment in life. Another important lesson is the connection between lust and attachment. Lust often arises from attachment to certain objects, people, or experiences. By understanding this connection, a person can reduce the power of lust. Developing detachment does not mean being cold or indifferent. It means not letting desire control thoughts and actions. Detachment allows a person to enjoy life without being enslaved by it. This creates balance, peace, and freedom. Overcoming lust also improves relationships. When a person is controlled by lust, they often treat others as objects or temporary sources of pleasure. This harms relationships and creates misunderstanding. A person who masters lust treats others with respect, empathy, and understanding. This creates stronger, healthier, and more meaningful connections. Overcoming lust brings emotional maturity, which is essential for lasting relationships. Physical health is another benefit. Lust-driven behavior sometimes leads to stress, exhaustion, or unhealthy choices. Self-control and moderation improve physical well-being. A disciplined mind leads to disciplined behavior, including better eating habits, sleep, exercise, and overall lifestyle. Overcoming lust contributes to a healthier body and a stronger mind. The journey to overcoming lust also teaches humility and awareness of human nature. Everyone has desires, and everyone struggles with impulses. Recognizing this makes a person compassionate towards themselves and others. It is not about judging others, but about improving oneself. By mastering lust, a person develops moral strength, clarity, and emotional intelligence. In life, the world is full of distractions and temptations. Lust is one of the most powerful forces that can cloud judgment and mislead people. A person who can overcome this force gains freedom and control over their mind. They are no longer pushed by fleeting desires or shallow pleasures. Instead, they can act with reason, wisdom, and purpose. This is the true meaning of overcoming the world. External things may change, challenges may appear, but a person who masters their desires has an inner power that cannot be shaken. This mastery becomes the foundation for a meaningful, successful, and peaceful life. Ultimately, overcoming lust is a path to self-mastery. It is a practice of discipline, awareness, patience, and focus. It transforms the mind, emotions, and behavior. A person who achieves this gains clarity, peace, confidence, and freedom. They are no longer slaves to fleeting desires, and they can face the world with strength and wisdom. Whoever overcomes lust truly overcomes the world, because they have conquered the most powerful challenge, the control of their own mind and impulses. This mastery becomes the foundation for a meaningful, successful, and peaceful life.